Hello, everyone, and welcome. Thanks for being here with us today. We're going to get started in just a few moments.
Hello.
Hello. Good to see you all. Hello, Christopher and Sandra and Haley. How's it going? And Jesse and Shannon and Melinda. Matt, good to see you. Melissa, Veronica, Mark, Paula. We're so glad to have you all here. Hi, Christy and Lana and Carly and Mary and James. Hi, Emily. Good to see you all.
As everyone's coming in, we'd love to know where you're joining us from. So take a moment to say hello in the chat.
Yep.
Let us know where you are and what you teach.
Answer Jupiter would be my guess. So 555 will just do this.
Oh, this is going by so fast. We have so many people from all over. I'm going to give a shout out to New Jersey. I did see New Jersey. That's where I grew up. Hello, Jersey. Hi, Matt. I see you. Hello, friends from Indiana, New York City, Phoenix, Arizona, Mishawaka. I wonder if I said that right. Southern California, South Carolina. Oh my gosh, it's been a long day, people, as I'm sure it has been for many of you. Hello, San Diego. Oh, Alaska. Hi, Christy from Alaska. Thanks for joining us. Hello, Alabama. Hi, Candace from Alabama. 3-day weekend. Well, from some, most, maybe. I know Veterans Day is one of those holidays where sometimes you get it and sometimes you don't. Hey, Art from San Diego.
Oh, Art. Welcome, everyone.
Welcome, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. So happy to have you here.
Well, our waiting room is starting to slow down, so I think we're gonna go ahead and get started. Just some quick housekeeping before we kick off. If you are not presenting, we just ask that you take a moment to make sure that you're muted, so that way we don't get any background noise. But we will have opportunities for active participation, in particular in our breakouts later this evening. So be prepared to participate and chat if you would like to at those times. We will be monitoring the chat, so feel free to ask questions, or if you need help with anything, we'll be monitoring that and be able to help you out there. And I think with that, I'm going to go ahead and kick us off. So we are so excited that we are less than 1 month away from CSEdWeek 2022. And this year's theme is celebrating our progress, and our chair of CSEdWeek is going to tell us a little bit more about that as we go in. But before we start, I'll introduce myself. My name is Michelle Burton. I'm the Director of Program Operations here at CSTA, and I have the privilege of helping lead the team with CSEdWeek. So really thrilled that you're all here. Really excited to about this theme and this cohort of CS heroes and all the exciting things that our many organizations have in store for you this CSEdWeek. We have 4 great speakers here with us. First, we have Dr. Abigail Joseph. She is a member of the CSTA Board of Directors, and she is the CSEdWeek chair of the committee. So she's really the power behind all of this and making things happen and keeping everyone on task and on track. So she's awesome, and we're so excited for her to be here, and she's going to kick us off. We also have Vanessa Jones, one of CSTA's professional learning manager. Vanessa has been doing lots of great work in coordinating all of our CS Heroes, the new posters and the lessons that you all have for this year. So later in the program, Vanessa's going to walk us through those new heroes, some of those extension activities. We also have Saskia Leggett from Wix Education with us. She is going to walk us through a lesson in one of our breakouts of how to build a website featuring the CS Heroes, and it's a lesson you can use with your students during CSEdWeek, so great opportunity there. And we also have Danielle Larkin from Earsketch and Georgia Tech University. Danielle's going to walk us through during one of the breakouts the Your Voices Power Remix competition and how your students can get involved with that. Great. So before we dive in, I do just want to give a huge thank you to the CSEdWeek committee. CSEdWeek really is a community effort, and so we try really hard to make all of the things that we do a group collaboration. And so our CSEdWeek committee, as I said, is led by Dr. Abigail Joseph from the CSTA Board of Directors. But we also work really collaboratively with CS for All, Code.org, the Kapoor Center, and the ESEP Alliance. And so just want to take a moment to thank them all for all of their hard work on getting all the resources up and running for this year's CSEdWeek. And then finally, we couldn't pull this off without any of our sponsors. So a huge thank you to everyone up here on the screen who is helping fund CSEdWeek so that we can provide all of these resources to you all. And in particular, thanks to Wix Education and Earsketch for being sponsors of today's kickoff event. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Abigail Joseph to walk us through CSEdWeek and the resources.
All right, thanks, Michelle. Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are from. I'm so excited to bring you our theme for this year's CSEdWeek, which is celebrating our progress and our path ahead. And what better way to do that than to think about what CS used to be for us and what it is now to us. And for me, CS used to be something I thought was only for white men. And now CS is me. I'm CS. So how cool is that? Let's watch this video. Michelle? Oh, we have no sound.
I used to think that computer science was terrifying, like this guy.
Sorry about that. Can you hear it now? We'll start it right
Yeah.
back. Sorry.
I used to think computer science was difficult and boring, and now I think it's exciting and I learn new things every day.
I used to think that computer science was terrifying, like this guy. But now I think it's the greatest thing in the world.
I used to think that coding was crazy complicated. It still is, but it's fun now.
So this is what CSEdWeek is all about, celebrating our progress and looking towards the future, our path ahead. And we have many great resources on the CSEdWeek website for you to explore and utilize in your celebration of the week. So you can see here, our first tab is Teach and Explore. That's where you can go to find resources to teach something during CSEdWeek or explore something during CSEdWeek with your communities in your classrooms. And one of the many resources that I'm sure many of you are familiar with is Hour of Code. So you can host an hour of code through code.org and lead some hands-on explorations with your classrooms. and experience and break down theories and stereotypes around computer science with some straightforward exercises and activities that you and your students can explore together. No experience required. We also have some great resources about equitable computer science, and we have this wonderful definition that has been brought to us from the Kapor Center, which you can refer back to during the week to really think about how we can make computer science education more equitable. From a student standpoint, from teachers and school standpoint, and in your classrooms. And what would teaching and exploring be without the computer science teachers organization? And so you can go to the CSTA website as a CSTA Plus member and access a host of activities, community, and join the world's largest computer science classroom. Thanks, Michelle, for advancing. Our next tab on the website is Advocate, and CSTA and all the organizations are really about advocating for more computer science education in our communities, in our schools, and in our classrooms. And the website has a host of resources that will help you and your communities and schools think about how you can advocate for more policies supporting computer science education. One of those resources is brought to you by ESEP. It's 7 different advocacy ideas for how you can be an advocate. And it takes you through a process of identifying who your advocates are, figuring out where your bottlenecks are so you can design a plan, and then figure out how to amplify your voice and the voices that need to be heard to make these changes in policy around CS education. And almost lastly, but not, a big part of CSEdWeek is connecting with community. And under the Connect tab, you will find many ways that you can connect with our greater CS community. So not just the 95 people here, but people all over the world. And one thing that you can do is when you figure out what your CSEdWeek event is going to be, to register it on the website in this Padlet. And over time, we are going to see just how many connections we have with each other in celebrating computer science around the world. And lastly, what would CSEdWeek be without some celebrations? So we have provided you a few resources and ways that you can celebrate computer science education. One way is reflecting on where computer science was for you and where it is and what you think about it now. But also we have a few goodies to help you spread the word and celebrate with each other. So on the Celebrate tab, you will find resources and templates for your social media. And you can put together a slide just like this about how it started, how computer science started for you, and how is it going now. And in this example, we have the Computer Science Teachers Association Executive Director, Jake Baskin, and where CSTA was in terms of the number of chapters that it had in the past and how it has grown to today to be, I think they all fit in this little tiny room. It's a little deceptive because it looks like almost the same number, but in the first picture, there are about maybe 30 chapters in a really tiny room. And the second picture, I don't remember the number, but we are in a big ballroom there. So there's a big difference of how many chapters we had in past and how many we have right now. And so we would love for all of you to go on there, 100 chapters. Thank you. And take these social media templates and spread the word on all of your social media about where computer science started for you and how's it going now. And now I'm going to turn it over to Vanessa to talk about our CS heroes for CSEdWeek this year. Vanessa?
Thank you, Dr. Joseph. And while I'm transitioning into sharing my screen, I want to give you a little activity to do. In the chat, I want you to answer this question: what is a CS hero? In the chat, go ahead and post, what is a CS hero? And I'll give you about a minute to do that. What is a CS hero? And I'm going to share another screen here. What is a CS hero? We have some really great answers coming in here. Someone who uses CS to advance their students, someone who inspires other students. Oh, all of those are great answers. Thank you so much for doing that. About 10 more seconds and then we will kick off everything. And while you're putting your last minute thoughts in there, I just want to say that I am so super excited about this year's theme, celebrating progress in computer science, and really looking at all of the advances that have happened in computer science and being able to just celebrate that progress. And so super excited about that. And it has been an honor to have had the opportunity to work with this year's 2022 CS Heroes, to really get to know them individually, to get to know their individual stories, and to learn how they have contributed to learning computer science and where they started and where they are planning to go. It's been really exciting. And I get to introduce them to you. So here they are. This is our official unveiling of our 11 incredible CS heroes who, as individuals, have already made such a huge impact in society, especially in computer science. And our heroes each has a different story to tell, and about what inspired them, where they started, their background. And what I'm really excited about is that our youngest CS hero is in high school. He's 16. And one thing that I wanted to call out is that representation matters, especially here at CSTA. And we were very intentional about choosing our heroes. We wanted to make sure that our heroes had different identities. They came from different backgrounds. They were in different age groups. And we wanted to make sure that our heroes were just a different group of individuals, because we wanted to give our students that opportunity to really engage in and look at our CS heroes and maybe even connect with our CS heroes. And so that was one of the important component that we had when we chose our heroes. This is an example of 3 of our heroes, and this is an up-close example of what a poster will look like. We're going to give you the opportunity to maybe create your own My Hero poster this afternoon. What we try to do here is we try to capture the different identities and really kind of highlight their different experiences. We also were hoping that, again, students could pick 1 or 2 or even more of these CS heroes and really kind of see themselves in that hero, that belonging component, and maybe even think about like next year, they may be one of our CS heroes. And so on the screen, you'll see Mr. Bell. He's our 16-year-old, and he has several different companies. And one of his companies builds prosthetic arms, and we have Yam in the middle. And that Yam, who is a data scientist, encourages learners that who have experienced some type of trauma to really kind of share their stories to make that connection. And so we're hoping that students or even adults, teachers can make that connection with some of our heroes also. And then we have Daisy. Daisy spreads her knowledge with computer science by making TikTok. Her TikTok videos show us what's happening in the tech field. And again, we have a vast amount of age ranges in our CS heroes, and they are just incredible group of heroes. And what I'm going to do now is just give you a quick little glimpse into what our website looks like, what to expect. And then again, we're going to give you that sandbox time to go in and do a deep dive and look at some of these resources. So you'll see here that our website is set up a little differently. Our CS Heroes has their own little section here. And so that's the first section when you go to our website. And then you'll see the 6 different areas. You have your welcome activities, you have your poster lessons, you have your optimistic closures, my CS hero poster, which we'll spend some time in that section this afternoon. And then we have my future me poster. And then lastly, we have the CS connections. Some of these are similar, but most of them are arranged a little differently. And so let's look at our welcome activities. In our welcome activities, you'll see that we were trying to be very transparent when we were making these suggestions. So you'll see that we suggested that this activity takes about 10 minutes, and you as the teacher, you get to choose how you want to use this particular activity. We suggested using it as a classroom opener or just a warm up. It also depends on what grade level you teach. And so we have these different examples and these different templates based on the grade level that you teach. And you can see too, for this particular one, we asked, what about the CS hero stands out to you and why? And then we broke it down into the different minutes. So we suggest like a 10-minute activity, but you, again, as a teacher, you have that voice and choice to choose how you want to use these resources. So when I was doing this with my students, what I did, especially in the elementary classrooms, I did a hero a week. And so it just did not end when CS CSEdWeek ended. We continued. And so this particular activity, we could use it during Hispanic Heritage Month. We could use it during Black History Month. We'll talk more about some extension activities that you could use too. Another activity that we listed in our welcome activities is it's another unit lesson opener, and this is really kind of getting to know your CS heroes. Way I have it organized is, for example, if you're a middle school student or a middle school teacher and you're teaching a unit on app development and your students are actually developing an app, you can go in and look at some of the work that our CS heroes have done. Same thing too, if you're teaching a unit on machine learning or artificial intelligence, we pulled out 2 CS heroes that connects to that particular unit. And one thing I want to remind you is that even though that we have 11 incredible CS heroes this year, on that website, on our website, you do still have access to our previous CS heroes. So no matter what you're teaching, you should be able to find that CS hero there. One other thing that I want to keep in mind too is, let me go on to the next one and I can share that too. So this is in the poster lesson, and this is one of my favorite activities. It's the scavenger hunt. And again, it depends on what grade level you teach and how you could actually do it. I've seen it done different ways. So for example, if I was doing this particular activity with early elementary students, let's say pre-K or first grade, I may want to do this particular activity together as a class. If you're doing it with upper elementary students, what I've done before is that instead of a welcome activity or just a activity that I do at the very beginning, I give them this particular activity the first time before we actually look at any of the CS heroes. And then as we do a deep dive into each of the heroes, they are filling in the boxes. And then I make it like a game or a prize. And I always have the students work with partners, that collaboration component. And so the students are working together. And as we cover the CS heroes, or again, depending on the grade level, if they're working independently, if they finish up, they fill all this, they fill in this document and they turn it into you, or you can even have them actually check their answers. One other activity I do is I actually have my middle school students, they actually create their own scavenger hunt. But what you can do is you can make it like a game, and then when students turn this in, you could actually give them like a poster, a CS poster, and we're going to talk a little bit too about our CSEdWeek kits. And so that's something, that's a way that you could actually utilize the kits and this particular activity. Moving on, our CS Heroes optimistic closures, I've used this in a variety of different ways, mostly as an exit ticket. You'll see once you go into the website, you'll see that every lesson has an extension. And so, as well as if you do a deep dive into looking at each individual CS hero, you'll see that each hero has their own extension activity. So if you're studying about, again, machine learning, you'll see an extension that takes you to either the work that the CS heroes have done or other activities that you can utilize in your classroom. And so there are a variety of different ways that you could actually use this optimistic closures. The next section here is what we're going to spend some time in later on is my CS Hero posters. And you can see the variety of different resources. We have a very extensive lesson plan and step-by-step directions. I will walk you through creating your own posters if that is your choice. But we want you and your students to become heroes. Again, remember that sense of belonging and that representation. Who knows that if your students see you as a CS hero, then that may spark their aspiration to become a CS hero in the future too. And so I'll share more about this later on. In our next section, we have our future me posters. And then this is just your students looking at themselves in the future, creating a picture and creating a poster to represent where they are in the future. What do they see themselves doing in the future as far as computer science is concerned? And then when we do the sandbox time, if you would like to create a future me poster too, you're welcome to do that because we do have an extensive step-by-step directions. And lastly, our CS connections. And then this is basically making that connection. I talked a little bit about this at the very beginning, making connections to what you are actually doing in your classroom. If you're studying about data science or collecting data or looking at different charts and stuff, these are connections to some of the activities that you are doing in your classrooms. And when we give you the time to work in your breakout rooms in that sandbox time, we invite you to go in to explore some of our connection activities. I love this particular slide because it's the representation of all the different areas that we are hitting, all the different curriculum connections. And again, this is connections of just RCS heroes this year. And you do have access to previous CS heroes. And again, just making that connection, and hopefully your students are connecting to something that the CS heroes are doing and want to explore the CS heroes a little further. Here's an example of the CS Hero. You'll see over to the left, you'll see my CS Hero posters, and you'll have step-by-step directions on how to do that. In the middle is an example. After you follow the directions, you have your CS Hero. And one thing that we want to remind you too, so when you're doing this, you have that choice we want you to, because again, representation matters. We want you as an educator to create your own CS Hero posters. But if you know of someone else that you think should be a CS Hero for us and to post in your classroom, feel free to create posters about them too. We'll share some information about that a little later. And then over to the right side, you'll see future me posters. It basically has the same step-by-step directions, except for instead of creating my CS Hero poster, you are creating a future me poster. And with that said, I'm just going to first give you a general gist of what we're going to do. We're going to go into breakout rooms, and we're going to spend about 25 minutes in the breakout rooms. And so let me give you a general gist, and then I'll actually go in and tell you what each breakout room will be about. And then we'll have some of our partners explain to you also too what's in their breakout room. So we have 3 different sections in our breakout rooms. The first one is you're going to create your own poster, and this is a facilitated section. And so I will be staying in this main room, and I will be walking you through step-by-step directions on how to create your own my CS Hero posters. And also too, we'll be sharing resources with you. So if you're the type of person that your learning style is just to give me the directions and let me do this on my own, you're more than welcome to do that. Another option in our breakout room is we're going to have our partner resources. We're going to have it, they're going to be facilitated by our representative in from WIC Education, and then from Ear Sketch. And then lastly, our third breakout section is that you're going to have that opportunity to explore and share resources. We're going to have some questions, some reflection questions. We invite you to have those discussions, have those really deep discussions about what's going to happen in your classroom, what resources you'll use, and how you'll actually use those resources. And so again, breakout room 1, if you're breakout room A, if you want to create your own CS poster, you're going to stay in this your main room, and then I'm going to walk you through this. We're going to post the links in the chat. If you want to do this by yourself, feel free to do this. And then in breakout option B, it will be one of our, it's going to be 2 of our partner breakouts room. Again, Wix is going to give you an example. An example would be students learn to build an interactive website to celebrate CS Heroes. And once you get into that breakout room, they will explain in more detail. And then also to Ear Sketch, maybe learning about fall 2022 Your Voices Power Remix competition and how your students can participate. One thing that I want to remind you is, again, we're going to open up the breakout rooms. You're going to have about 25 minutes to go in there to learn something, to share some ideas, share resources, and then also to do a deep dive into the different resources. We invite you to go back to our CSEdWeek website to explore the lessons that I just went over quickly, to go step by step in looking at those, or create your own CS Hero posters. And then we're going to come back. We'll give you the opportunity to quickly share out, and then we'll talk about other things. One thing that I want to let you know that you can you're going to have voice and choice in the different areas that you will choose to go into. And you can choose, like, for example, if you want to come into the poster section, but you have learned that, I've gotten what I need, so I need to go in. I want to go into our discussion group, which is breakout room option C, and I want to engage in this conversation. You can do that. You can go from breakout room to breakout room. And then let's say, for example, you've participated in this conversation, but you want to go back and you want to go to one of our partners breakout rooms. So you have that voice and choice in how you want to utilize your sandbox time. And before we go into breakout rooms, before the show opens up the breakout rooms, I want to check the chat to make sure that I did not generate any questions about our breakout room sandbox time. And I don't see any questions, so I think we are going to open up the breakout rooms, and then I'm going to pause for about 1 minute to see whoever wants to stay into the main room, and then we'll do our little demo here.
Perfect. But really quick, before we go into breakouts, we're going to let Danielle from EarSketch give an overview of what you can expect in that breakout room, and then Saskia give an overview of what you can expect in the Wix education. So Danielle, we'll turn it over to you to give a quick preview of what to expect from EarSketch.
Thank you so much. Once again, I am Danielle Larkin, and I am from Georgia Tech. And this fall, we are running a mini coding competition for your students. Since this is a mini competition or a fall run of the competition, we are providing teachers resources to host a hackathon in your classroom. So I will be giving you all the details of how you can host a hackathon. Contact us for some gift cards for your students who win that hackathon, and also get you started with the EarSketch, Your Voices Powered curriculum, and EarSketch coding platform.
Hi, I'm Saskia from the Wix education team. Super excited to be here. So in my breakout room, we'll be going through Wix Education, which is a free platform and suite of resources to teach web creation, web design, and web development in classrooms. We are only available for ages 13 plus, so that's one thing to know before you hop into my room. And we've designed an activity centered around the CS poster heroes that you can take and build an interactive website to bring them to life. And we'll also go through a bit of our web development curriculum and explore 3 other activities that you can utilize for CSEdWeek as well.
Perfect. Thanks, everyone. So like Vanessa said, I'm going to open all the rooms now. We will come back together at 7:30 Eastern on the dot, but you can choose your own breakout room and pop between rooms if you'd like as well. So we'll see you in 25 minutes.
So I'm going to pause for about a minute just to make sure that everyone that's in the main section wants to be in this section to learn how to do a poster.
Hello, this is Matt. I keep clicking on EarSketch, but
I'll see if I can move you, Matt. Let me try that for you.
Thank you.
Okay, so I will pause for about another 10 seconds and then we'll get started. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk through it very slowly. What we've done is we did way more directions than you really need, but we wanted to be as transparent as possible and to give you different choices when you were actually creating your posters. Okay, hopefully you can still see my screen sharing. Am I sharing my screen? Nope, let me try that again. Now? Okay, cool. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do is, and I'm going to show you where you could actually find the resources for to create My CS Hero poster. So when you leave here, you'll have access, easy access there. And so I'm actually on the CS website here, our main page here, and I'm just going to scroll down and I'm going to click on My Hero posters, and you'll actually see again an abundance of resources here for you. But we're gonna not go over all of this, but I'm going to show you how you could actually get directly to your posters. So here you'll see the different step sets that you could actually use. But this is the main poster, like my poster, my CS poster. This is where you're going to go. If you click on that, and Michelle just put that in the chat also, that will actually take you directly there. So once you get there, you'll see this, and it should be view only. And you should make a copy. So the easiest thing is to make a copy of it. So it'll be your own personal copy. You can share it with your students. You can make your own CS Hero and share it with others. And so once you do that, let me move this out of the way there. So once you get there, I'm going to give you a couple of seconds to let everyone get there.
And the link I posted in the chat just now will take you to that Google slide, and it will force a copy. So no need to worry about overwriting anything.
Thank you, Michelle. And so I'll let you go over all of these different slides on your own, but basically it's what I talked about earlier. It is just step sets and lesson plans to get you started. Our real meat of this is on slide 9. Slide 9 walks you through step-by-step directions on how to actually create your slides. And I'm going to actually create my hero with you, and feel free to do that with me, or you can wait and just watch. That is your preference. On slide 11, you'll notice that they look the same, but they're actually different. If you look at the very top, the wording is a little different. Slide 11 is really important because this is where you go. It's a website. Remove BG, remove your background. It removes your background from that image, and it helps you to really stand out as a CS hero in your poster. You don't have to do that. Again, these are just directions on some of the templates that we've done. Let me show you here, just so you can get a general gist. These are some examples of CS, and I can put this in a chat too. These are some examples of I just did a search, and these are, that was a ugly URL there. Sorry about that. But this is just previous examples of CS posters that you could see. It's not elaborate. To me, the hardest part was just finding a picture that I wanted to put into my poster, but just to kind of give you that general gist. And so after you create your, you have your slides and you remove your image, you find an image, which I'm going to actually go through and show you how to do that. But after you do that, and again, you can do vice versa. You can either find your picture. Again, that was the hardest part for me, or you could actually find your background. And I want to just show you this one. Like, this is the one that I did as an example. I filled the top part of it out. It says, I am unapologetic advocate for CS computer science equity. And then I have on my equity fellow t-shirt, and that's one of my main components that makes me who I am, part of my identity, to be an advocate of computer science. And then here, and I didn't do this in the future, but I have to do something with my dogs because I'm always obsessed with my dogs. So whatever poster that I'm going to make is going to have my dogs in there. So in the future, if I'm making a future poster, I might give an example of me creating this efficient dog toy that is not expensive, but that can be ordered and that can be safely used by my my pets. And then here I'm into collages. I love to do different collages here. So this is an example of me just putting different images, different pictures on one poster. And then on here, again, I was just playing around with that just to give you an example of that. But let me show you how you could actually use that website. So if you go to remove.bg/upload, it's really easy, it's really simple, and most importantly, it's free. You're going to click on upload an image, and then either on the desktop, so you get to choose like what image you want to use, or if you want to do that image first, you can do that. So I'm going to choose this image because I hadn't removed the background. I'm going to open it. And then it automatically just removes the background. And so you just have that silhouette of your image. And then you're going to tell it to download. And then you can rename it. I'm going to put Vanessa testing here. And then I'm going to save it on the desktop so I can find it. Notice how I cleaned up my desktop just for you. And then, so after it's saved on the desktop, I'm going to go back to my poster. And let's say I'm going to use this one here. And then what you can do is you're just inserting an image. And I'm going to upload it from my, I'm going to upload it from my computer. Now I just have to, oh, there's that image right there. I'm going to click on it. And now you'll see that it's just the silhouette of me without the background. That's the coolest part I love about that website. And then I can use this image, and like if I don't want to use that poster, I can actually choose another poster that I want to use. One thing I want to point out to you that we do have like little, if I go all the way to the end, I always try to save all my pictures here, especially if I'm designing and I'm trying to create something. But you could actually, this is yours after you have made the copy of your CS poster, you can go in and just make duplicates. So I'm just going to duplicate this slide, and I can put the names of each of my students on there. So I always do the examples of my dog. So I'm going to put Marlo Jackson there. And then location, like the job title. And then you're going to insert your picture. So you can put that same picture there. You could tweak it, you can modify it, make it your own. And then like if I put it in the slideshow so you can see it big, and then that is your poster. Feel free to be creative. At the very end, we're going to show you how you could actually upload your CS Hero posters to a site and to share those with others. We'll share that. And I'm going to give you just some sandbox time to actually work on your posters, and I will be monitoring the chat to see if you have any questions, and Michelle and I will be answering any questions that you may have. And before I stop sharing my screen, I want to ask, were there any questions? Did I generate any questions? Okay, so I am going to mute my mic, stop sharing my screen, and give you some sandbox time to work.
I can share my CS Hero poster from last year.
That would be outstanding.
I'm not, I don't come from a computer science background. I come from an association and events background. Last year, CSEdWeek's theme was CS Everywhere. So I'll kick us off. I'll be the first guinea pig. But my
Nice.
CS poster was Michelle plans conferences and events to support CS teachers' professional learning and community building in computer science as in events. So I found a background of a conference center. But that was mine from last year.
That's outstanding, Michelle. Thank you so much for sharing that.
Well, now that I went as not a computer science person, we'd love to see some other computer science.
And Lauren, to answer your question, yes, it's very similar. If you go to our main site, and those different sections, you'll click on where it says my future me poster, and then you'll see is almost the exact same setup, but the lessons are different and the slide is different. But let me know if you have any questions. But the directions for adding a slide is exactly the same. Michelle, we should have had prizes, like whoever shared their CS poster got a poster.
Next time, definitely.
Yes, next time.
I don't have mine done, but I can tell you what I'm planning on doing with my students, if
That
that's
would
okay.
be wonderful. That would be wonderful. Thank you.
So I teach K4, and I have them for once a week, and I'm about once a week, and I'm thinking of, instead of the looking at up heroes, I think they can kind of look at themselves as being heroes in CS, in whatever career that they decide to go into or they're interested in. It kind of goes along with our Wednesdays, our first Wednesday college and career day. So instead of if I could just look at my screen for a second. So instead of asking about how they find out about their CS hero and what industry they're in or what type of work they do, it'll be more of what would you for the student, what career would you go into, and how would you see computer science in that field, and how would you in that field change someone's life positively or help them, since I'm dealing with the lower elementary students.
That's outstanding. Thank you so much for sharing that. And that's a prime example of how you could actually take the resources that we have and tweak them and modify them to meet the needs of your students. So thank you so much for sharing that. Is there anyone else that would like to share what you plan on doing? We're going to actually come back and debrief as a whole group later on, but if you want to share what you would do with your posters, that would be great. Or share your posters.
Hi, Vanessa.
Hi.
So I just wanted to say that I not only do I teach computer science, but I also am the media design teacher. So I run a morning announcements. So usually what I do during CSEdWeek is I will put the posters up on the morning announcements. We have like some videos that will run, things like that. So I will usually feature a different hero, sometimes two, every day of that week on the morning announcements.
Thank you so much for sharing that, Sandra. I love that idea. When I worked with, especially like with elementary students, I did something similar. We had a hero a day, and the students would use their scavenger hunt form to fill out as we did a deep dive into each of those heroes. And that way they got the opportunity to learn about all of our current heroes. So thank you so much for sharing that.
I like that scavenger hunt idea. I'm wondering if there's a way I can make it interactive and have like maybe some questions about some of the heroes that would be on the announcements, and then the kids could, you know, do a Google form and have the kids turn in answers and then draw prizes or something. Because we do a trivia. We already do a trivia Thursday and a Monday, but I could maybe try to figure out a way to tweak those for that week. That might be something I might have to do.
Well, love that idea.
I want to share We in our district, we run a STEM PLC for elementary for STEM and computer science teachers, because when you're an elective teacher, you could be the only one in the entire building, and so it gives them an opportunity to meet. Last year, they took the CS Ed Hero and ran with it. They took it back to their classrooms at their schools, and one of the teachers had them make themselves into CS Ed heroes, but in other areas. So one teacher had a student who made himself an environmental computer science combination hero. So it was really interesting for them to be able to see computer science in other fields and not just as something behind the computer. And so that's where she had them make their focus. And I thought that was genius. And they found books and things to tie it all together.
Love that, and love how it's like interactive and getting the different ideas and they're all coming together. Thank you so much for sharing that. For the other breakout groups, thank you and welcome back. We were just finishing up our My CS poster chat, and we were just sharing some different ideas of how we could actually integrate the posters into our content that we're already teaching, and also too, what are some modifications that we could do to make it meet the needs of our students. What I'm going to ask you to do before we close it out is just in the chat, post one thing that you are planning on doing during CSEdWeek 2022. What are you planning on doing, or what is something that you learned from being in this session tonight that you would like to go back and implement? And have your kids make Future Me posters, CS posters. Now you're a fan of Ear Sketch. Good. CS website, Ear Sketch Hackathon. Love that you're doing the CS his hero posters, and loving that you're going back to our resources on our site and to try different things and to be able to integrate. Love it, love it, love it. Hour of Codes and CS posters. Thank you so much for sharing that. Continue to share in the chat, and I'm going to share my screen here and close it out. And feel free to continue to post any questions that you may have in the chat, and we'll answer your questions. So one thing that I wanted to share with you is that, again, feel free to share your CS Hero posters. We're looking for you as educators to create your own posters, but we also want you to create and have your students create their posters too. And we're creating this form right here that we'll put in the chat right here. And this form is only for educators, so we want you to create your CS Hero posters, and we want you to share it with our community, and we'll share with our CSTA community also too, especially during CSEdWeek. We also want you to invite you to share your posters in our community .csteachers.org. We want you to be proud and share the work that you're doing, and any modifications that you've done, share those. Anything that you're planning on implementing, or things that we didn't discuss tonight, or things that you've done in the past or in the future, please share that with us. Also too, make sure that you are using social media. If you can, tag us with hashtag CSEdWeek, hashtag celebrating progress, which is our theme. And then also especially if you're using your posters, tag us with CS Heroes. And one thing that I am really excited about this year too is our 2022 CS Ed kickoff panel. We're looking forward to that. That is actually happening December 5th. And these are 4 of our CS Heroes that we are going to feature, and Dr. Abigail Joseph will be our moderator and our MC for this event. Stay tuned. We're going to be posting more information about this event on our website. And then lastly, we're going to give you just to do a shout out and just to remind you that you could actually order your CSEd event kit. And if you go to our store, our CSCA store, they are available. I think they're about $40 and you'll get these particular items in there. I love the posters are so awesome. And then on our in our store too, you'll actually see this sweatshirts. Really awesome. I'm looking forward to getting one of those also to brag about our CS heroes for 2022. And with that, I'm going to check the chat to make sure that there are no outstanding questions. Okay. And then Christy, yes, we'll reshare that template for you. And Michelle, do you want to close it out?
Sure, absolutely. Well, thanks again, everyone, for being here. We really appreciate it. We hope you found some inspiration for things to do in your own classrooms or in your own communities for CSEd Week. We're looking forward to seeing all that you create and share and the way that you all inspire your students to be excited about computer science. So thanks, everyone. We'll be sure to share the slide deck and the recording late, probably early next week. But if you have any questions or want to get in touch with anyone, feel free to reach out to events@csteachers.org and we'll get you in touch with a member of the CS Education Week team. Thanks all. Have a great night.